thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 60s. Chance of rain 80%. Thursday night, much cooler. Mostly cloudy. A chance of showers in the evening. Lows in the lower 30s. Chance of rain 40%. Friday, much cooler. Mostly cloudy in the morning, then becoming partly cloudy. Highs in the mid-40s. At 7 p.m. at Albertville Regional Airport, skies were cloudy. The temperature was 50 degrees. The dew point was 36, making the relative humidity 57%. Winds were northeast at 3 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.24 inches and rising. At Cullen Regional Airport, skies were fair. The temperature was 50 degrees. The dew point was 37, making the relative humidity 62%. Winds were north at 5 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.26 inches and rising. At the Cullen Agricultural Station, the temperature was 52 degrees. Winds were northeast at 5 miles an hour. Elsewhere across the area.
All right, my friends, what is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another stream. Mark, you are fired. I'm just kidding. Mark is saying, Andrew, maybe mod. God help us all. I'm just kidding, Mark. Just kidding. Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here, guys. Let's go ahead and see who is here. We have ourselves Caden. We have Cynthia. We have Haley. We have ourselves Cool. We have, let's see who else. We got Caden here. We got two Cadens. So what's up, Cadens? The dual Cadens here. K-Day is here. What's up? Hope you're doing good here. Tornado Clips. Let's see, Proxy with a $25 super chat. Good golly, Proxy. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Hope you're doing all right. Thank you. Saying good to be here to get the kind of info that keep me informed and safe. Thanks, Andrew and the mods. Hi to the whole NWW16 family. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Once again, glad to have you here. And thank you so much, Proxy. As always, that is super, super, super nice of you. Big shout out goes to you. Let's go see Cody's here. We have Eduardo. We have Rain. What's up, everybody? Hope all of you guys are doing good out there. Like I said, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a snow system to trek across the southeast. It's about time these areas have seen some snow. I tell you what. In the latest, it seems like it's more of a sleet concern, kind of more of like a freezing ice type of concern. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Also, big severe weather event for later on next week. We got to be watching out for. We're gonna do some coverage. Looks like the 16th, 15th, and 16th is gonna be a pretty impactful day across the South, in which we definitely got to watch out here for. Anyways, but yeah. Let's go ahead and see here. Hello to you too, Andrew. Hope you're doing good as well. Thank you so much, K-Day. Let's go ahead and see here. Eerie Storm, I think that's how you say that, saying, hey, what's up, man? What's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have everybody here. Once again, thank you all so much for joining us. So, all right, we're not going to play around here. We're just going to get right on into this because, like I said, we have a bit of stuff to talk about. There's a bit of snow expected for areas in the southeast. We got ourselves a winter system that is starting to kick off. So we're going to go ahead and bring this to the current radar view. That way we can show you guys exactly, essentially, what is happening at the moment. So we take a look at the current radar view and what's happening across the country. So across the south, you notice there's a big old streak of moisture. A lot of the country is actually really dry, which is good. You know, a little bit of moisture coming through the northeast region. We got ourselves a lot of, like I said, a big old streak here of moisture driving through areas here towards, like, the coastal areas of Mississippi, Alabama, throughout Florida, going right through Georgia into North and South Carolina. So this is going to be playing a very important role of this upcoming event here. So we're going to have to definitely watch out for. So like I said, basically we have ourselves a big old streak of moisture that is driving its way in through the country, coming from the Gulf of Mexico, going up into the country. Now what's going to happen, and what you're going to be seeing on the models here, is the fact that we are going to be seeing a low pressure system that's going to develop and basically take all of this moisture and wrap it up, and that cold air is going to start to come behind it and basically create it into snow, and obviously the winter weather type of thing. So with sleet and freezing rain and all that fun stuff, it looks quite probable. You know, definitely looks quite probable. And if there's any questions you guys might have while we go through today's stream, feel free to let me know. Like I said, we are here for you guys. We want to make sure you guys are up to date. We want to make sure you guys understand the situation. And obviously our goal is to leave here with everybody understanding what is expected to happen here. That is obviously the main goal on the channel. But anyways, but that's that, my friends. So like I said, just a little bit of moisture moving through. So now we're going to move on over here into the future. We're going to take a look here at the future and see what things could be looking like down here. We're going to switch over to the south. Actually, we're going to look at the eastern United States. And we're going to look at the frozen precipitation and stuff like that. So let's go and take a look at that. So let's go ahead and switch on over, my friends. So here we go. So this is the future of the radar here. Let's go and take a look at this. We're going to drop down a model run because that one's not done yet. So like I said, if you want to follow along in time, it is over there, far top right next to the NWW16 logo there and all that stuff. So if you guys want to follow along, that is right there. So like I said, across portion to the north, we have a little bit of snow moving through, a little bit of snow showers, kicking across the region. That big streak of moisture is moving through. Now watch what happens as we move into around noon here for tomorrow. So we track our way down in time. You might notice right in here towards Louisiana, there's a little bit of spinning starting to happen here. So that is going to be the low pressure system that's going to grab all of this moisture here for tomorrow afternoon and track it north. And you're going to notice a little line of storms moving down here just off the west coast of Florida. That might be a little bit of thunderstorm activity. Anyways, we track our way down here in time, and obviously as we do so, apparently according to the latest NAM model, there might be a bit of snow in like southern Mississippi. You see that blue there that's popping up? That's interesting. That's brand new. Anyways, but that line cuts across Florida, and we have a severe weather risk here tomorrow. The storm predictions are put out a slight risk for tomorrow. So we're going to do some coverage on this tomorrow. We're going to do some Florida storm coverage as this cold front moves through. But it's just really interesting. The latest does kind of show maybe a little bit of a snow popping off there towards like southern Mississippi, which is a little interesting. But anyways, but we're going to see how things go with that. But I would really not trust that too much here. But anyways, the cold front moves through. It should be out by the morning or the very, very morning hours here of the 12th, essentially. And as we track away even further, now you're going to start to notice a little bit of pink and stuff like that starting to pop up there for areas of like, the Blue Ridge Mountains. That's kind of showing the possibility of some sleet, maybe some freezing rain, and perhaps a bit of snow could be possible. So the timing of that starting will probably be around the morning of the 12th. Kicking off there in the morning of the 12th, going through the afternoon hours. Most of it turns into rain. Like I said, the latest, it seems like a lot more rain is likely rather than snow. There's a bit of snow still expected, but more for those upper elevations, obviously where it is a bit more cooler. Like I said, the higher you go up, the more colder it typically gets. And so that's basically why that turns its way, that's basically why it turns its way into snow, is because that colder air is basically interacting with it and stuff like that. So anyways, that tracked its way off here. Mid-Atlantic system, like I said, it basically just travels. That low pressure system remains south of the DC metro area right there. That's where that low pressure system is at. So it's expected to do kind of a track like this and basically track its way up to the northeast, essentially. And like I said, here for tomorrow afternoon, that's going to really start to kick up and move its way up. And then, like I said, we're going to have a little cold front that's going to drive its way down through Florida tomorrow. And like I said, that's where we have a severe weather threat when it comes to things here. So like I said, we got to be really watching out for that. Once again, here's the current radar view. Now, we're going to switch over here to the Storm Prediction Center. Oh my gosh. So there's something that they've actually pulled out here. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has threw out a slight risk here. Basically very far out, which, like I said, they only do that if something fishy's on the horizon. And like I said, we got to be watching this. So let's go ahead and move over here to the Storm Prediction Center here really quickly. We have the most littlest, I think we have the most littlest marginal risk here, or one of the most little marginal risk here I've ever seen. Look at that. A little baby marginal risk here. So basically a little severe weather threat. Oh, you guys really can't see it. It's right there. Look at that. Little. Very, very little marginal risk here across portions of Florida right now. Tornadoes is not a concern. They removed that earlier. It's just a possibility for some gusty winds, perhaps. Like I said, obviously, that is, kind of what we are saying. Once again, nothing too crazy. Just, the possibility for some gusty winds. Other than that, nah, don't worry about it. But anyways, like I said, we take a look here. We're going to switch over to tomorrow's risk. We have a slight risk. That's in effect. Storm Prediction Center went all out for tomorrow and said there's a slight risk in effect here. So basically what that yellow area means is that you got to watch out. You got to watch out because we're seeing that cold front kick off with that newly developing low pressure system towards like Louisiana, Mississippi area. So essentially what that's going to do is that is going to create a cold front, and that is going to fire off some storms along the areas in the dark green and the the areas here in yellow, that's where the severe weather threat here is existent. Now look at this. They put a 5% tornado risk here tomorrow, which, like I said, tomorrow there's a pretty decent chance. Areas here in northern Florida could see maybe some tornadoes. Let's see. Cool says next week it's going to be much crazier. Yeah, it will. And let me talk about that here in a second. So like I said, areas in Orlando, let's see, for the dark green, for the tornado probability, these major cities, okay, these areas are in somewhat of a tornado threat. Like I said, it's not the biggest tornado threat in the world, so like I said, nothing to absolutely stress over, but it's just something to keep an eye out for. Tampa, St. Petersburg, or St. Pete. We have Orlando, we have Clearwater, Spring Hill, Florida, and that 2% tornado risk. And a little bit of a higher tornado probability concern includes Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Gainesville, Ocala, and Lakeside. Those areas in Florida have a bigger tornado probability for tomorrow. Damaging winds also a big concern, so watch out for some gusty winds, perhaps up to 60 miles per hour out of some storms. Hail is not a concern, so at least that's some good news, is that there's no hail, but tomorrow's concern, the main concerns is indeed tornadoes and damaging winds. And like I said, we're gonna be doing some coverage tomorrow, and we'll talk about the timing of this here. Actually, right now, let's actually discuss that before we move even further, and before I show you the even more crazier stuff. So it looks like, as an estimate, from when the storms fire off here, it kind of looks like maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock. So we might go live until the storms go on the eastern side of Florida. The good thing is we got live cameras in Florida. So no matter what happens, we got you. We're going to be here, and we're going to be able to actually have some live camera views. So happens if there's a tornado, we got a lot of interstate cameras, and we might be able to see some activity. Let's hope not. Let's hope that there's no tornadoes. But like I said, there is that risk out there, and we got some cameras through a lot of Florida. So like I said, if you're not already, consider hitting that subscribe button. That way you guys do not miss the coverage here for tomorrow. It's going to be quite interesting, that's for sure. Anyways, let's see. Do I think the Carolinas will be highlighted for the 15% chance here for next week? A little too early to tell, but we'll watch it. Like I said, the cold front is tracking east. I will tell you, the overall energy in the atmosphere seems to be dying out by the time it reaches towards the Carolinas, so I'm not exactly sure on that right now. I would not get your hopes up. I would not get your hopes up on. I think a lot of the main impacted areas we're going to see is like Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Once again, I think that's going to be like the main impacted areas out of next week's severe weather system. Like I said, big tornadoes looks very probable. Big tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds all seem very likely here for this upcoming event here. Anyways, but we're going to switch on over here. We're going to take a look at the overall risk here. Like I said, we're switching on back here to the Storm Prediction Center. Once again, here is tomorrow's risk here, slight risk in effect here. Moving on over here to Sunday, we don't have any threat for severe weather, so we're looking good. Same thing for Monday, it is clear. Tuesday, we're good, but Wednesday, we have a 15% risk here. This is for Wednesday. This is on day 6. And like I said, that's basically about 6 days away from here. And like I said, typically if you see the Weather Service do that, that means that there is a possible interesting event on the horizon. And like I said, I can tell you firsthand, based off of the models we've looked at, oh yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. And they've really highlighted areas here in eastern Texas or northeastern Texas, northern Louisiana. A lot of Arkansas, Mississippi, and Tennessee is included, including the areas of Memphis, Shreveport, Little Rock, Longview, and Jackson. Those areas is indeed, like I said, those areas is indeed included with the threat for Wednesday. Like I said, Wednesday being here on the 15th. Now, as we track our way into Thursday, yet again, another big 15% risk is available. And like I said, the 15% risk here that's a pretty big deal. Like I said, we're talking, that's equivalent to a level 2 out of 5 here, literally 7 days out. And usually, by the time these big risks get here, depending on the conditions, obviously, but from what it seems like, it really looks like, it really looks like we're probably going to get some upgrades on this eventually. So we'll have to watch out, especially if things continue in the models we're going to be peeking at here in a little bit. Holy cow, guys. It's not looking good here. But like I said, obviously areas for Thursday includes eastern portions of Mississippi, the entirety of Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, areas of western Georgia, and central Tennessee. This includes the Nashville, Tennessee region, the Atlanta, Georgia region, Birmingham, Alabama region, Montgomery, Alabama region, and Mobile, Alabama region. Also Pensacola, we're going to include there. But like I said, that's kind of what we're looking at. It's definitely pretty crazy. It's definitely pretty crazy looking. So once again, we got to look out for that there. Good agreement shows mid-level disturbance here, central U.S., blah, blah, blah. Basically talking about things is it's a little interesting. essentially. Days 4 to 5 here. Model guidance is in relatively good agreement. And like I said, that's the main thing, is that the models are agreeing this far out. And usually when that happens, that's never really a good sign, essentially. Like I said, I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm just trying to make sure you guys are ready to go. Like I said, obviously the early warning is the best. Like I said, obviously early warning is the best. And so obviously whatever we can do, like I said, obviously whatever we can do to help you, we're going to do, okay? So like I said, obviously that's something we're definitely going to be watching out here for very, very closely. So, anyways, we're going to switch over to the models here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what we're expecting, and then after this, we'll look at the snowfall accumulations, because I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering what's going on with this snow event here across the southeast. We'll get to that here in a moment, but I just wanted to talk about here on the severe weather side of things really quickly, and just kind of show you what we're looking at. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and switch on over here to that right now. So here we go. So this is the ECMWF model. We have ourselves that little low pressure system. This is going to be the system that's responsible for all of that snow. You can see right here on the in the vorticity, you can see obviously where that low pressure system is located. Kicks across the southeast and remains under Virginia mostly. That central low pressure. Then you're going to notice this little guy here starts to kick its way down here through the way, and obviously, boom, kicks off. And this is going to be the driver of the severe weather here. This is going to be the one here for the severe weather here on the 15th. This one here, this is a little micro disturbance, another little low pressure system, but it appears as of now there's not enough energy in the atmosphere to fire off some severe storms out of this yet. So, honestly, I'm not too worried about the storm here. This is for Valentine's Day, by the way, out of this one. But then, like I said, following Valentine's Day, we have this big guy. Yeah, this one's going to be the one that's going to possibly rock part of the country here. So we're going to definitely need to pay attention to that here. Anyways, but we're going to switch over here to the south. Like I said, a lot of the south here is in the areas where we need to watch out here for. So we're going to switch on over here to the severe weather side of things, and we're going to look at the overall energy. So think of this as the food that the thunderstorms ingest in order to be all big and strong, essentially. So this is what we call the mixed layer cake, basically the energy throughout the tops and the bottoms of the atmosphere, essentially. It's basically just the overall accumulated energy. So we track our way down here in time. Obviously, you don't really see much happen. We got a little bit of energy. Now, before I show you this, we're looking for values over 500. Just saying, anything over 500 can kick some pretty decent storms off. Anything over 1,000 can kick some pretty strong, severe thunderstorms off here. So look at this. We track our way down in time. We get a lot of energy building into the region here across Texas, across Louisiana, Oklahoma, areas of Arkansas. Like I said, looking for values over 500, really over 1,000 to be some pretty nasty storms. We have over 2,000. That is plenty. That is more than enough energy that is needed to fire off storms. And so that's a lot of energy. Like I said, that is a lot of energy that we have here. So overall, that is a lot of stuff. That's a lot of thunderstorm potential here. So we got to really be watching out for that. That tracks its way to the east. You can see that big line right there. That's where the cold front interacts with it. A lot of energy cutting through Louisiana, Arkansas as well, towards Mississippi, and then moves its way to the east here. So like I said, overall, we have the fuel that's recommended or that's needed for thunderstorms to fire off here. Like I said, that's more than enough. That is a lot of energy that's available in the atmosphere. Now, there's another thing I want to go ahead and show you guys, and that's the winds here close to the ground. Like I said, just go up about 2,000 feet, 4,000 feet, really not that high. And look at this. The winds, this is what plays out for tornadoes. The winds here is ridiculous. We have some very strong winds here. Lower level jet around 50 to 60 knots. Like I said, that's basically around, nearly 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, about a couple thousand feet up. And they are screaming basically to the northeast, which, like I said, that is a very big thing in tornadoes. So keep that in mind. So basically, a lot of strong winds here is racking its way up here across the, the south, the lower portions of the atmosphere, and moving from the Gulf of Mexico to the north. So watch out for that. Now, as we go up way further up in the atmosphere, kind of around where jetliners fly, and we look here at the winds at that level, well, you notice something, and that's the fact that these winds change directions and they change overall speeds. So now you look at them, and the winds are moving a little bit more to the northeast. So we have a wind directional change. And like I said, what that means is the possibility for some spin kicking off in the atmosphere. And with spin, it throws the possibility of some supercells or rotating thunderstorms, which can indeed throw tornadoes. So mixing all that energy we just looked at and all the winds that are available at certain levels of the atmosphere, guys, we're looking at a tornado event here. Like I said, there's one more thing we look at here. That's basically the dew points. Anything in the 60s is supplying good amounts of moisture to the storm here, which, like I said, that's basically a lot of the fuel the storm ingests. Anything in the 50s, the upper 50s, and through all the 60s and into the 70s is really good moisture values here. And look at that. As the cold front moves through, dew points are here into the upper 60s, which, like I said, it's very, very, high moisture content, which is great for thunderstorms and just absolutely great for tornadoes. So overall, everything's in line here. Everything stacks up for a potentially serious tornado event here kicking off for next week. And once again, this is going to be happening on the 15th and 16th. So basically here the day after Valentine's Day. So it'll be but mostly Wednesday and Thursday from what it looks like right now. That mostly Wednesday and Thursday, this is going to be a very impactful event. Now, there's a lot of cold air that's going to be blasting its way to the east here, and I really want to put this in perspective and show you guys, because like I said, we look our way over here. There's a lot of cold air that's basically just plummeting its way, coming from the west and moving to the east, and you're going to see that right there is the cold front. And as we play our way down here in time, look what happens. Look at that. All that just gets blasted out of the air. That cold air basically just blasts all that warm air, like smacking, get out of here, basically. So it's really crazy to see. Basically, all that cold air is just smacking all of that warm air out of the way. And like I said, that interaction with the cold air, pushing the warmer air out, that's what creates those thunderstorms. And like I said, with that being in place here, that's a pretty big deal. And like I said, that's going to be very strong for firing off thunderstorms. So everything, once again, guys, is in line for a potentially nasty severe weather event here. And you're going to notice those temperatures are going to be warm. Before that cold front hits you, a lot of warm air starting to pull up here. You're going to notice it quite humid, definitely warm, overall nice day. Until the cold front gets to you, you're going to notice some big boomer thunderstorms, and then it's going to get cold again, essentially. That's basically how it goes with a low pressure system. Anyways, but that's that, my friends. I just want to go ahead and discuss that with you. I mean, depending on which model you look at, GFS, ECMWF, they both support this in large quantities. Once again, the models are on serious agreement mode, and that is why the Storm Prediction Center is literally throughout this risk here talking about severe weather here on Thursday, for Wednesday and Thursday. Like I said, Wednesday, Thursday is the big days across areas of northeastern Texas, areas here of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee. Then move into Thursday for areas of Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, portions here of Georgia, and Tennessee yet again. So that's obviously something we need to watch. And like I said, this is seriously going to be interesting. Yeah, this is definitely going to need some updates. And no matter what happens here, this is going to require some coverage, and we're going to be here in order to do so. So, anyways, but that's that, my friends. Once again, that is indeed what we are looking at. So now we're going to kind of calm down from the thunderstorm subject here for a minute, and now we need to talk about the winter weather, because like I said, there is a bit of snow that is expected to drive its way across the southeast. And like I said, we could see a decent amount of freezing rain also included with this here. So like I said, in order to take a look at that, we need to look at the current radar here right now, is what you're seeing right here in front of you. This is the current radar view across the country. We have a big streak of moisture, a lot of rain kicking in across the southeast here, which, like I said, that is a... Oh, shoot, I did not mean to do that. Anyways, but like I said, that is a lot of... Let me fix that a little bit. Hopefully that's a little better. Anyways, but like I said, that's what we're looking at. So a big streak, a big jet of moisture just moving its way in the country here right now, causing some rain. But if you look a little closely, we zoom in here towards Texas. You see this little guy right here? You see how it's starting to rotate a little bit? I don't know if y'all can make that out. Let me go ahead and draw a little L for you, showing that low pressure system. And let me actually show you the direction these are moving. Look at this. So you see how it's kind of rotating counterclockwise? Look at that. It's rotating counterclockwise, right? Y'all see that too? It is actually pretty crazy. So basically, what is happening here is this is a low pressure system that is starting to develop. Now, what this is going to do is it's detached from all this moisture right now. Anyways, this low pressure system is moving faster than that streak of moisture is. And basically, they're going to collide with each other. And what's going to happen is essentially this low pressure system is going to gather all of this moisture and kick it up across the northeast. And the cold air is going to start coming down here. It's going to start, flanking from the north, and it's going to come into the backside of the system and create basically all that precipitation to turn into, or a lot of that precipitation to turn into winter weather in forms of sleet, in forms of freezing rain, in forms of snow. So, like I said, that right here, this is the beginning portion of that snow event that we got to be watching out for. So I tell you what, let's go and move over here to the models, guys. Once again, I'll show you the timing, and then we'll look at the accumulations here, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys just what we might be expecting. So anyways, let's go ahead and switch on over here, guys, and we'll take a look at that right now. So anyway, so taking a look here over at the NAM 3-kilometer model. Once again, the time is on the top right-hand corner. If you guys do want to follow along here with this, like I said, we track our way down here in time. Like I said, obviously today is the 10th. We track our way down here through time, kind of from midnight tonight. Once again, that little low-pressure system kicking off across like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana area. And that big streak of moisture is driving its way up across the southeast. So watch that. So now we move into tomorrow afternoon. So at this point, you're going to notice that low-pressure system has collided with all this moisture, and we start to get a little bit of a cold front developing out of this. So basically what's happening is cooler air is blasting down behind it. There's a little cold front right there. That's obviously thunderstorms firing on that line of that cold front line, and that's where tomorrow's severe weather threat comes in across Florida. So then we track away into the evening of tomorrow, kind of around 6 o'clock. You start to notice how those storms, that frontal boundary, that cold front, is starting to move into Florida. And that's where tomorrow we're going to pick up some coverage and talk about the severe weather event that's going to be happening. Now, in the latest model here of the NAM 3-kilometer model, you notice a little bit of blue that's starting to pop up here, kind of towards the areas here. Like I said, obviously, basically, here towards southern Mississippi, which is a little interesting. Like I said, is a little bit interesting. I would not trust this too much here. It shows a little bit of snow firing off in southern Mississippi somehow, but then does not last that long. But anyways, we track our way down here in time, so kind of for the morning of the 12th. So we move through tomorrow, and we move to the early of the 12th. And you're going to start to notice a little bit of precipitation, a little bit of pink starting to pop up there, right there towards like the Smoky Mountains region here in western portions of North Carolina, moving up here towards the Blue Ridge Mountains, and a lot of pinks is starting to pop up. Now that is in the form of sleet and freezing rain, and that could bring a lot of ice accumulations. We're going to talk about that. A little bit of snow showers kind of popping up, maybe towards Alabama here on the backside of the storm system here. We track our way down here a little bit further, and you notice how some of the snow continues across portions, or starts to kick off towards like, western North Carolina, all those areas there, bit towards, Tennessee, maybe southeastern Kentucky. It looks mostly to be rain here for the most part. A lot of southwestern Virginia towards the Appalachian Plateau region could be seeing a decent amount of snowfall as well. And then this thing tracks its way off here to the east. So like I said, the latest models have been kind of showing maybe a little bit less snowfall than the previous ones, which, like I said, obviously is a little bit interesting. And I'm starting to realize something. Is there some snow squalls being possible today? Hold on, we're gonna backtrack here for a second. So according to the models here, let's see, it's almost 10 o'clock. So apparently, it's showing some pretty heavy snow bands up there towards like Pennsylvania. Let's actually look at that real quickly. That's a little interesting. We're gonna switch on back here really quickly. Yeah, no warnings out on it. At least I don't think so. Which is, let's see, snow squall warnings, winter. We have those on, yeah. I don't know. Very heavy snow there towards New York. So overall, nothing that needs coverage or anything like that. But anyways, it's just kind of interesting to see what's going to be happening here. But let's move on into the accumulations, and we got a few models to look at here. So first off, we're going to start off with the American GFS model. Now, like I said, you cannot trust one model specifically. So remember, don't trust one model you see here. We got to look at different models, and I got to really show you what we can possibly expect out of this. So if you guys want to know your accumulations, listen up right now, because that is the time we're going to be looking at it, all right? So anyways, we switch on over here back to the models here. Once again, first off, we're starting with the GFS American model. So the latest run here, this was the latest one at 18Z. The absolute latest information coming from the American GFS is right here. So we track our way down in time, and look at this. So this is the snowfall projected by the GFS model. And once again, like I said, do not trust one of these models specifically, because like I said, the models are, obviously, first of all, you should not trust them at all. Okay, backtrack. I take that back. You should not trust them for what they show 100% all the time. Now, there is times where you can trust the models. That's if you see a lot of agreement here. But anyways, like I said, across the areas here of the Mid-Atlantic region, at max, according to the GFS, maybe some areas pocketing maybe near 8 to 12 inches. Once again, do not trust one in particular model here. That's why we need to look at a few other ones. But like I said, maybe 8 to 10 inches towards, the Smoky Mountains, maybe towards areas of Virginia on the western side. A little hesitant at that accumulation, but I'd say it's probably possible. I would say it's plausible. I would probably give it like a 40% chance, though. I really don't think that's going to be playing out too much. But anyways, like I said, a lot of snow for these areas here. Now, if we compare this with the European model here, and we take a look at this, you're going to notice here that, honestly, the latest European model is kind of showing around the same boundaries. Maybe they're towards, western areas here of North Carolina and eastern portions of Tennessee. We're talking a possibility of, once again, maybe 8 to 12 inches in some areas. Some locally amounts could get over or near a foot. Theoretically, could happen. So we're going to have to watch out for that there. But anyways, like I said, snow tracks its way all the way down as far down south as like areas of northern Georgia and northern Alabama there. Definitely kind of interesting to see how that plays out. But overall, both the American and both the GFS model is supporting maybe some localized areas of maybe up to 8 inches being possible. That's kind of what I think is a possible scenario, is maybe up to 8 inches here. So, and then like I said, we move our way over here to the GDPS model. This is the Canadian model. This one really does not support that much at all. It actually shows a lot of it mostly being rain and some pockets of 3 to 5 kind of being possible. I would kind of outcast this model. I would not say that that's I don't know. I would not say that's a really highly probable outcome there, because, like I said, it really just kind of pocketed. It's all over the place here. So I really don't know. I don't think that one's one you should probably trust here. Now, here's the one you should probably trust the most. Now, this is the National Weather Service blend of models. Once again, this takes a whole bunch of models, throws them in a blender, blends them together, and gives out an output here. So with the snowfall out of this guy, we're possibly seeing maybe some areas here, maybe up to 3 to 6 inches along the areas of western North Carolina. It kind of seems now that's where the heaviest amount of snow is going to be at, is areas here towards western North Carolina. Now, areas as far down south is like, north central Georgia and northeastern areas of Alabama could theoretically see some snow, but probably nothing much in terms of accumulating snowfall. So it's probably going to remain in the most factor of pretty much just, like I said, pretty much in the factor of just maybe a little bit of something that you might be able to see, though. But anyways, but that is kind of what we are seeing here. But once again, the heaviest is expected across areas here towards, obviously western North Carolina, maybe eastern, very far eastern Tennessee there, moving its way through areas of the Blue Ridge Mountains being possible. So once again, that's kind of the one you should probably trust for now, is maybe, most areas 3 to 5 inches with locally higher amounts up to 8 inches at max being possible. So keep that in mind. Now, there is another thing we do need to discuss with winter weather. Like I said, obviously the latest models have been kind of trending more ice rather than snow. And like I said, we looked at the snow here. Mostly areas about 3 to 5 inches is kind of in the forecast. But whenever it comes to ice, like I said, no matter how much snow you have, a little bit of ice always tops out that. Like I said, ice is very bad, and that's what creates a lot of problems essentially. So, we track our way down here in time, and this is kind of what we're looking at. We are definitely looking at this here. So this is all the ice that the GFS is, obviously supporting here. But once again, do not trust one model in particular. Like I said, we'll take a look at the forecast and stuff like that here in a moment. But anyways, but you know what? The GFS does not go light on ice here. Maybe some areas getting up as high as maybe near a half an inch of ice being possible. Once again, kind of for areas here along the Blue Ridge Mountains areas here, obviously for the mountainous regions of Virginia, some areas of eastern West Virginia, and maybe a little bit of ice here towards western. Maybe a little bit of ice there towards western North Carolina. So overall, the GFS is very aggressive whenever it does come to that ice accumulation. So that's something we definitely need to look at here. So anyways, so now we move over into the European model. So we move in back to the European model, ECMWF. This one we track our way down in time. Now this one's obviously taking down a lot of the snow for like the west central portions of Virginia, kind of more for the southwestern areas of Virginia, still seeing that. But once again, maybe up to a half an inch, according to what the ECMWF model has to say. So obviously there for the Smoky and Blue Ridge Mountains areas, looks quite probable for seeing a decent amount of ice accumulation. Like I said, that's kind of what the latest models have been talking about, is the fact of more ice rather than snow out of the system here. So then we look at the GDPS model, and this one goes absolutely nuts regarding things. This one talks areas here well over a half inch being possible. And this one also has that ice moving all the way towards the panhandle of West Virginia. This one tracks a heck of a lot more higher up north. Obviously, areas, some areas in western North Carolina potentially could be seeing a bit of ice here. Once again, for those upper elevations there, for a lot of the central portions, if you're wondering, central North Carolina now, probably nothing winter weather related. Probably just a bunch of probably just a bunch of rain in general is going to be expected. But like I said, a lot of freezing rain and sleet will be likely over across these areas here in western North Carolina and mostly western Virginia. Mostly western Virginia and eastern West Virginia looks quite high for possibility of some ice regarding sleet and freezing rain accumulations, so that is something to watch out here for. James says, I'm interested in a warm front coming to Michigan next week. We'll look at that here in a moment. There's also a big cool down coming for the country as well that we need to watch out for, so we'll keep an eye on that one as well. We'll talk more about that here in a moment. Now, the last thing we're going to do, like I said, we're going to take a look here at the blend of models in terms of the ice accumulation. Once again, if you're going to trust any of them, this is probably the one you should trust the most because, like I said, it takes a whole bunch of models, throws them in a blender, blends them together, and obviously gives you the best probability outcome. So that's obviously kind of what we're looking at right now. So, tracking our way down here in time, and honestly, like I said, this is actually being pretty aggressive. Some areas maybe up to 0.3 of an inch would definitely be very impactful here. So obviously areas here towards western, the western areas here of, North Carolina and the western Virginia areas here, eastern West Virginia as well. Like I said, you should consider watching this here very closely. Because like I said, I mean, seriously, this is possibly an ice storm material. And, and really anything over, 0.3 of an inch is considered an ice storm. Yeah, it's basically considered an ice storm here. Which, like I said, that is going to be very impactful. So once again, areas here in western North Carolina, areas here in western Virginia, areas here in eastern West Virginia, prepare now for some ice, as well as possibly some snow. That is a for sure thing that we're likely going to see. More impacts regarding ice than snow. You got to think, once again, this is for the western areas of the state here. This is where the higher elevations are. Obviously, there's a lot more hills and stuff like that. Like I said, with that being said, if you have ice on a hill, that makes things 100 times even worse. So once again, do not travel if you are inside of these areas here in the southwest here. Once again, a lot of this is going to be happening here essentially for basically Sunday, from what it looks like, Sunday into Monday. So this could seriously have some impacts on the Monday morning commute here for early next week. So, with that being said, once again, western North Carolina, western Virginia, eastern West Virginia, seriously, we have got to be watching out for this as this looks to be not so good. Okay, so the weather is definitely turning quite sour here. First of all, with that winter system, and then we have that severe weather event that's coming down next week. Holy cow. Next week is going to be a busy week when it comes to weather, unfortunately. So we're going to have to be on top with the forecast. We're going to have to be on top with videos, live streams, and you name it, everything. We seriously got to keep you guys informed here. Like I said, obviously tonight's live stream, so make sure you guys understand what is possibly on the horizon here, and we definitely have got to be watching out for this here. Puss and Boost says, is Georgia getting snow? So it's possible. Yes, it definitely looks possible that Georgia could see a little bit of snow out of this here. I would not really get your hopes up too much here. Like I said, we'll take a look at the overall snow accumulations here based off of the blend. There's some patchy areas that might see maybe a little bit of a dusting, kind of more towards like the north central areas here, maybe towards Atlanta. Areas of Georgia might be able to see a bit of, maybe a little bit of a trace or something like that. So watch out for it. I mean, you'll probably just see some flurries fall and be like, oh, look at that, some snow, and then nothing will happen on the ground. That's probably how it's going to end up for the most part. Yeah, honestly, that's kind of how I think this is going to be, how I think this is mostly going to be playing out here. Absolutely. Yep, so that's that. So once again, everybody, we just got to be on the lookout. Got a busy weather week ahead of us, and like I said, that's with the winter weather there. That's actually pretty crazy. I don't know if they've already issued watches or anything out about this here. Looks like they have, actually. It looks like they've issued some winter storm watches for western North Carolina, which you can see right there, those blues. Like I said, winter storm watches right there. We have winter storm watches in effect for areas of western North Carolina and far eastern Tennessee. So watch out for that, my friends. Basically, winter storm watch means that, heavy impacts of winter weather down in time are possible. So keep an eye out for warnings. So we should probably see some warnings by tonight or tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm sure this will probably happen here. So we got to keep an eye out for that. Is New Jersey going to get any snow from this? No, it does not look like it because, like I said, we have this low pressure system essentially that's tracking south of Virginia. I could look for it. Maybe there's a few models that might suggest maybe a little bit of something, but I don't think there's really going to be much of any impacts for areas nearby there. So let me look for you. I said the blend of models, yeah, really does not support anything for New Jersey. So if you're in New Jersey, obviously, you're probably not going to see anything out of this. Absolutely. Let's see here. But once again, like I said, if y'all have any questions throughout this, if there's an area you're a little questionable about, I forgot to tell you. Okay, so once again, with that system that's going to be driving its way through the country here, like I said, obviously we have, yeah, that system's moving through. Yeah, we might be in line for a big winter storm across like the Central Plains and Midwest regions. If, like I said, this thing's been trending for a while now. Like I said, we have a winter storm here that might, once again, just might bring some very heavy snow for like areas of Kansas, maybe Nebraska, Iowa, or Minnesota, Wisconsin areas. Once again, do not trust these accumulations quite yet because it's still a little too early here, but look at that. Just a little preview for you guys. Some areas might be seeing over a foot, which is pretty crazy. But once again, that's still like several days out here. This is for like the 17th, so we're still like a week out for this essentially. So obviously, with that being said, it's still a little too early to tell, but still, it's just a little concerning. Look at that. European model also does support that. Like I said, obviously, this is a very actually, with that run is not finished yet. But like I said, essentially what's going on here is the fact that, you know, a lot of these models do support it. In some areas, up to a foot is kind of popping up here, which is definitely a little interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that for that. Rain, let's see. Okay, that's something we should probably talk about is the rainfall accumulations across the southeast. Like I said, because right now, if we take a look here over towards the, you know, the current radar view, like I said, there's a big old streak here. A huge streak of moisture, a lot of rainfall across the southeast, you know, areas here towards like, you know, coastal Alabama, coastal Georgia, you know, obviously they're towards areas of Florida, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, those regions there. That's where we're seeing a bit of, you know, rainfall moving through. That's going to be the driver of that winter system across these areas here. But anyways, like I said, whenever it comes to rainfall, I mean, some areas is looking for a lot of potential rain here. We take a look here over at the precipitation type of things here, and we look at the overall, basically the overall rainfall accumulation here. And look at this. Some areas now popping up, possibly 3 to 5 inches at max of rainfall. So, like I said, that is kind of what we're looking at. So areas here, like I said, the biggest, heaviest amount of rain of 2+ inches is kind of looking like it's going to be quite probable from these areas here. So throughout areas here of like the north central area of, like I said, north central area here of the panhandle of Florida, cutting through south central areas here of Georgia, cutting through the central and southern areas of South Carolina, and areas here in southern North Carolina. Once again, those regions there are looking quite probable for maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain. Which, like I said, that's throwing flooding possibilities, and we're probably going to have some. Like I said, obviously we're probably going to be having some. Like I said, probably some crazy flooding there, in which we're going to watch out for that. That's another thing. So for next week, a little preview. A lot of severe storms, a potential severe weather outbreak here is ahead of us for Wednesday and Thursday. We have ourselves a snow system happening here for basically Sunday across, you know, the south. Then we have the flooding for around the same time. Snow for the Central Plains, Midwest regions, dude. It's going to be an active week for tons of people. Tons and tons of people. So if you're really in the central and eastern country, you should probably be watching the weather this week because things are going to be flying. Things are going to be pretty crazy here. So once again, if I was to draw a map here, basically just to show you what we might be in store for, which I'm going to go ahead and just kind of throw a little thing like this out there. So here's the United States as a map here. Like I said, just as a rough area here, might be some snow for these areas. Obviously, like I said, I'm just roughly drawing these areas. Watch out for snow. You know, obviously watch out for these areas here for severe storms later on this week. Watch out for these areas for winter weather and all that fun stuff. So basically, a lot of the country here, a lot of the central and eastern country is going to be in the looks here for some nasty weather this week. So basically, yeah, a lot of these people might be in the risk here for a bit of interesting weather this week. So we're definitely going to have to be watching out for that here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on there. Jonathan says, thanks, no problem at all. And once again, like I said, if there's any questions you all might have, please consider letting me know. And like I said, we'll obviously make sure you guys are staying up to date and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, we just have a few systems moving through. First of all, we have that little rain system moving through there. And then, of course, we have ourselves that secondary system that kicks through. Yeah, it's just going to be a boatload of problems for probably a lot of people here. So looking like a quite impactful week ahead here. It definitely looks quite probable. And actually, I'm curious to see what this Climate Prediction Center has to say on this here. So that's the temperature outlook here for this week. Obviously, for a warmer east with that warm Gulf of Mexico moisture coming up here, and a very, very cool west here. Precipitation, I guarantee, is going to be high, and it definitely is across a lot of the central and eastern country. So we're looking to be a lot more saturated, a lot more wet than normal, which is a little bit crazier. Same thing for not this week, but the week after and the week after that, essentially. Obviously showing a very, very wet United States here, except for areas of Florida, because it's just Florida down there. But anyways, but that is kind of what we are looking at. Like I said, that's obviously kind of what we are seeing. Just overall, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, obviously we're expecting a lot of heavy stuff to be happening here. Once again, actually, I just now realized they do have some flood watches already coming out for areas of like the southeast, towards like the panhandle of Florida, towards like southwestern Georgia. We already have some flood watches in effect here. Obviously, talking about the potential of flooding here, and showing that probability, essentially, that we might be seeing, a bit of flooding. Proxy says anything for northeastern Ohio. So whenever it comes to the activity here, like I said, obviously, in the range here of things, specifically, like obviously for severe weather, anything like that, you're probably good out of this. We're going to bring back to the GFS here. There's obviously northeastern Ohio. Out of the system, the first system you're not going to get impacted by. The second system really doesn't show too much here. But that third system, I'd say that you might be in some impact zones here. Now, this is kind of a far-fetched shot here, Proxy. But, like I said, obviously with that threat that the Storm Prediction Center already has out for basically the 16th and 17th here, that's the big system that's driving through, possibly some snow. You might be looking for even some thunderstorms. I mean, that cold front does look to still be probably attached by the time it gets to you in northeastern Ohio. So it's probably going to be a little bit warm for you, Proxy, and it's obviously probably going to be booming later on this week, possibly. As of things right now, as of the trends right now, the European model, like I said, obviously we need to look at this one to kind of compare things, but like I said, I mean, these models have been absolutely in such agreement here recently. Yeah, there you go. So obviously the ECMWF model is also showing that as well, and showing that big snowstorm moving through here. Once again, that's going to be a big impactor for areas like, Kansas, Nebraska, obviously Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Yeah, those areas here are looking for some heavy snow this week here. And obviously areas in the south like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, maybe Tennessee there. You're looking for some severe storms. And in areas here on the western side of North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, western Virginia, eastern West Virginia is looking for some sleet and freezing rain. Like I said, this week is proving itself to be very, very active here, in which, like I said, this is a very, very impactful, a very, very impactful week ahead of us. And like I said, we're going to definitely need to be on the edge of our seat this week. And like I said, the reason we are live here is to make sure, like I said, the reason we are live here is to make sure that you guys are staying safe out there, essentially. Let's see, Crystal says anything for Ohio State. That's basically what we were just looking at. Like I said, watch out for some thunderstorms. Proxy says, thanks so much, Andrew. No problem, Proxy. No problem at all. And like I said, if there's anything else we can do for you guys, once again, let me know, please. We're here for you. I want to make sure that you guys are staying safe out there. I want to make sure you guys are obviously basically being ready for the storms and everything like that. And once again, we got you covered. But like I said, like I said, even this far out, the Storm Prediction Center already issued risk here for severe weather to kick off here for next week. Like I said, once again here for basically areas of, pretty much for day 6. Like I said, this is for Wednesday, moving from Wednesday into Thursday. Obviously, Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at a potentially a big event here. Like I said, there is support of some potentially violent and large tornadoes here. A lot of strong winds at the lower and mid portion of the atmosphere, changing directions. A lot of strong energy in the atmosphere overall. Everything's looking and kind of pointing towards a possible severe weather outbreak. So, like I said, we got to be on the lookout here. We got to be right on the edge of our seats all this week, and we got to be watching out for this here. Like I said, we are going to be doing some coverage, absolutely. Haley wants me to look at Kansas City. So Kansas City, obviously, whenever it comes to severe weather here, they're not in that specific SPC risk. But whenever it comes to, like I said, ideas here towards the region, you're probably going to get impacted by maybe some storms here, perhaps maybe for the 14th. So watch out for that here. So we take a look over at the GFS to kind of compare things here. And once again, like I said, I'm just surprised at how well the GFS and the ECMWF European models are agreeing on this here. Same thing, maybe some thunderstorm activity, a little bit more warmer, and then perhaps maybe a little bit of winter weather out of that secondary system, which we definitely need to watch out here for. Anyways, let's see here. Alice wants me to look here anything for Southern Illinois. So for Southern Illinois, kind of the same thing here. Maybe a possibility for some strong to perhaps severe storms here throughout Southern. Obviously there towards Southern Illinois. So Alice, you might want to watch out next week for that. You can kind of see that cold front right there that's moving its way through, like Southern Illinois moving into Indiana there. Very, very strong low pressure system. That might create some thunderstorms for areas nearby. So watch out for that. Do I think this risk will move more south? Potentially. K-Day says, can I look up 46562 for the next week, please? Yeah, absolutely. We can look at that here for you. And like I said, if there's any zip codes, guys, we'll just change this into a personal forecast here. Like I said, obviously anything to make sure you guys are staying up to date here. This is across Indiana, basically on the northern edge. So once again, kind of the same thing as we were looking at here for the person in Southern Illinois is basically the possibility of maybe some thunderstorm activity could theoretically be possible. And like I said, we got to really be watching out for that. Like I said, the latest models here is showing definitely enough energy in the atmosphere that actually gets pushed up north. So yeah, Indiana, Illinois might be included for possible severe weather here. So we might need to be on the lookout here. Absolutely. Haley says, thank you so much, Andrew. No problem, Haley. No problem at all. And like I said, once again, if you have any zip code you want me to look at, guys, if there's any specific area, like I said, obviously, let me know. Yes, I did hear about the earthquakes. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. We actually talked about it on the stream the other day. But but like I said, once again, if y'all have any questions here, about all this, feel free to let me know. Once again, we got you guys covered here and everything like that. And like I said, on this event, it's likely not just going to be a severe weather event. It's likely going to be a winter weather event as well. Like I said, basically split off into two different storm systems here. Like I said, obviously with these areas here towards these regions getting impacted by, like I said, obviously getting impacted by some snow. And then you have these regions here, perhaps maybe getting impacted by some storms. So we might need to watch out for this. Like I said, we might need to watch out for this here. Once again, the storms could go as high north as like areas of the Ohio Valley. I'd say that's actually quite probable. Definitely quite probable here. Marshall Lee says, hello. What's up, Marshall? K-Day says, oh no, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. No problem, K-Day. We'll keep an eye on this, though, as it moves through. In the cases, what does McKinney, Texas look like over the next week? Okay, let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and pull up McKinney, Texas. Obviously, I need to know where that's at. That is right here towards Dallas. Okay, so I tell you what. So we move over to the Storm Prediction Center, actually. There's already a risk for you there towards Dallas. Basically here for Wednesday. So for Wednesday, look out for the possibility of some nasty, severe weather here. Like I said, obviously on the northeastern side, we have that slight risk that's in effect here. Like I said, obviously we have tons of instability there. As we looked at the models, there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere, which is definitely pretty crazy. A lot of energy, a lot of strong winds across the lower and mid levels of the atmosphere, which obviously, has that tornado potential with those winds arcing in different directions and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely watch out if you are across the Dallas area. I mean, like I said, they did include areas towards Dallas to actually be in line with that here. Hack wants me to take a look here at 27587. No problem. Yeah, we can do that for you. We'll take a look over here towards you, my friend. This is in North Carolina. You are right here towards, this is in Wake Forest, towards Raleigh. So obviously for the regions over here, it's going to be probable. Obviously, with this first system that's moving through here, let's go ahead and switch over to scenes here. With this first system that's moving through, obviously you're probably going to see a lot of rainfall. So remember to keep that in mind here. I'm going to switch this actually over here to your more local region, and we're going to switch to the blend of models here to show you something. But like I said, you're towards Raleigh here for the most part. Now, first of all, the temperature is pretty warm here. You're going to notice those temperatures probably go up a bit. Obviously, as this event approaches, noticing a pretty nice day like today from what it looked like. But like I said, with that being said and all, I mean, we're probably going to be seeing once again, a decent amount of rainfall being possible. Some areas here maybe up to 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, definitely being probable across these regions. So watch out for that. That's obviously a big possibility here. Whenever it comes to next week, like I said, obviously, regarding that severe storms, that's something we should monitor. I'm not going to say anything for you right now, but we'll definitely keep an eye out for it. Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out there for hacks. So stay safe out there. Like I said, obviously, whenever we do another personal forecast before this event gets here, like I said, let me know and remind me, and we'll go back over it. Let's see. Wants me to take a look at Cleveland, says KDGF. We actually just looked at Cleveland and said there's a possibility for some severe storms here. Maybe. It's a possibility. It's not a for sure thing, but it's a possible outcome here, as there is, in some models, showing enough support there for the possibility of some thunderstorms. So that is kind of what we are looking at there. Caden says, thank you, Andrew, for the update. No problem. Once again, no problem at all, my friends. Like I said, if there's an area that you want me to look at here, like I said, feel free to let me know. I just want to see you guys safe rather than, obviously, I want to see you guys safe and knowing what's heading your way versus not. Because, like I said, obviously, being in the blind when it comes to weather it can be quite dangerous. And especially with the events that we're expecting later on this week, between heavy snow and some very nasty severe weather here being possible, it's not looking good. Once again, it is definitely not looking good there. Mr. Ensall says, good evening. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. And once again, like I said, anybody, if you have any zip codes you want me to look up here, we'll go and pull it up here, and we'll definitely look at all the stuff here. But like I said, I mean, we project the precipitation here. Just precipitation, in the form of liquid. And we see that there is a lot of precipitation between now and basically the 17th, essentially. A lot of the country is going to be very, very wet this week. And obviously in the fact here of seeing, maybe a couple storm systems. Like I said, we're talking about 3 storm systems that is going to be moving. Like I said, we're talking about 3 storm systems here that's going to be impacting the country. Once again, more specifically, if you're in the central and eastern part of the country here, obviously, you got to be on the lookout this week because things could be turning out quite interesting. And like I said, obviously, where these impacted areas could include, like I said, obviously, just as a little heads up, like I said, once again, do not trust, don't take this to be 100% serious, but like I said, roughly in these areas here, going to have some winter weather impacts here. Maybe a little bit more up to the north, I should probably add. Probably something like this. These areas here, and probably including Minnesota, there we go, that's probably better. So mostly for these areas, like I said, Central Plains region, mostly these regions here. Possibly a big snowstorm for later on this week. Got to be watching out for that. And then across these areas here, possibility of some severe storms, I'd say is quite possible. So watch out for that there. And then, like I said, obviously some winter weather being possible here in the next 2 days here across the areas of western western North Carolina and western Virginia here. Obviously eastern West Virginia being possible. Whenever you get to talking so fast, that's whenever that happens. So, like I said, sorry I'm talking fast. Like I said, there's just a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. Let's see. Appalachian Angel wants me to take a look here at the 38501 zip code. All right, sounds good. This is across areas of Tennessee, right here towards regions in Cookeville, between Knoxville and Nashville. So, across your location, I will tell you this here. We look at the Storm Prediction Center here. That's something that's kind of a big concern for you. Is right here on essentially Thursday. We have a severe weather risk here for you, so that means that you got to be on the lookout here specifically for Thursday. Okay, so watch out for Thursday because it looks quite probable of seeing a very nasty severe weather event. Like I said, we've been tracking this in the models for a few days now, and it does not look nice. And like I said, we got to watch out for it. So Appalachian Angel, watch out for storms here on Thursday, and like I said, we'll keep you informed with that. Absolutely. Hack says, thank you, no problem. Awesome wants me to take a look here at Vesper, Wisconsin. So obviously, if we take a look over here towards that region, let's see. Vesper, Wisconsin. I'll switch over to that right now, which is basically south of Wausau. Okay, so obviously severe weather is not going to be an impact here really for you. You're too high up north for that. However, whenever it comes to winter weather and stuff like that, like I said, obviously winter weather is possible for these areas here. I'd say you got to be watching out for the winter weather here, possibly for basically the 16th. Starting on the 16th and lasting pretty much until the late 17th, essentially. So 16th to 17th, watch out for that. Let's see here. Uncle D wants me to take a look here at 31642. All right, we're going to look at that here right now for you. So 31642 across areas of Georgia. You are right here on the southeastern side. So I'm going to have to say that watch out for the possibility of some severe weather next week. Like I said, probably the middle to late next week. So keep an eye out there for that across the region. There is areas in Georgia that we probably should indeed watch out for. Maybe even a little bit of thunderstorm activity for tomorrow could be possible since you're in like really far south areas of Georgia. There is a little risk here, as you can see, for areas of far, far south Georgia. They're in that dark green and especially the yellow there for Florida. But like I said, all of Georgia has a thunderstorm potential, so watch out for some storms tomorrow being possible, which is definitely what we're going to watch out for. Let's see here. Do I think that day 7, 15% risk for severe weather is normal? It's a pretty rare occurrence, but it has happened, yes. Let's see here. Javier says Houston, Texas. So, like I said, Houston, we take a look here over back at the Storm Prediction Center here. Like I said, on the big picture of things, yeah, Houston area here, which we're going to go ahead and switch on over here. Sorry, not the Storm Prediction Center. We're going to take a look at the models here for you. As we look at the models here, like I said, it's going to be a possibility that we might get some impacts here, maybe with some, maybe with some storm activity here for like the 16th. So keep an eye out for that. But other than that, I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about. Maybe some storms, maybe for the 14th, and maybe some storms for the 16th. But other than that, that's kind of what we're looking at. Uncle D says thank you. No problem. Yeah, no problem at all. And once again, like I said, if there's an area you want me to look at, guys, let me know. And like I said, we'll look up that area and we'll tell you what we can expect here. Because like I said, basically a lot of the central and eastern country is going to be very heavily impacted between winter weather, severe weather, and all that fun stuff. So it's looking quite probable. Flooding, yeah, we got flooding, we got severe weather, and we got winter weather. All of them are looking very, very, very probable for the country this week. So we got to be on high alert here this week. Absolutely. Also says Dallas, Texas. So yeah, Dallas is actually in or right there next to that severe weather risk here that the Storm Prediction Center has already put out here. Like I said, we take a look over at the risk here for Wednesday, and like I said, you can actually see here in northeastern Texas, a little bit east of Dallas, essentially. There's a 15% risk, but like I said, that's the slight risk. A marginal risk here would stretch out a little bit more further. So yeah, Dallas is looking quite probable for some severe weather here on Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that. But anyways, that is kind of what we're looking at. Obviously that is what we are paying attention to. And once again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. White Wolf says hello everyone. Just getting on here. What's up, White Wolf? Hope you're doing good out there. And like I said, once again, everybody, any area you want me to look at, like I said, feel free to let me know. We'll be here for you. We'll make sure you guys are staying up to date and all of that fun stuff. And like I said, there's just a lot of stuff on the table here. We are in like rapid fire mode right now, so I'm talking so fast and everything like that. Let's see, Javier with a $10 super chat. Oh, thank you so much, Javier. That's super nice of you. Double thumbs up goes to you. Everyone give Javier a big thank you. And the little thing says thank you. No, thank you, Javier. That's very, very nice. That's very, very generous of you. Very, very sweet. Thank you so much. Once again, it means a lot to us. Definitely helps us out. But like I said, definitely got to keep an eye out for that. Once again, Javier, thank you seriously so much. That really makes my night. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Cody Gray wants me to take a look here at 51441. 51441 is across areas here of Deloitte, Iowa. So obviously areas here in western Iowa. So like I said, whenever it comes to activity, like I said, so whenever it comes to like, what's kind of in the forecast for you guys, like I said, if you're in Iowa, yeah, we're looking like a big winter weather mess here for possibly for next week. So obviously they're towards Deloitte. Yeah, we're talking a possible winter storm here. We got to be watching out here for. So first of all, we have a little cold front moving through, a little bit of rain being possible. And then, like I said, have another system kicking through here, and look at that, therefore, areas of Iowa. So that, like I said, things can still change here, but we'll definitely continue to watch this. We compare this to the European model even. Like I said, it's just crazy just how much the models are in agreement right now. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. The models are in some serious agreement right now. And like I said, you can look at it, and there you go. European model also supports that. So, yeah, Cody, you definitely want to watch out for that one. That's for sure. Let's see here. Javier says we should be thanking you for giving us the weather life. Well, obviously, Javier, seriously, that was greatly appreciated. Super, super nice of you. And I got to give you thank you. Like I got to give you thanks for that. Like that's super generous. That's super, super nice. Like I said, the donations really do help out the channel. And like I said, it's just very generous of you to do that. So really, thank you so much. But like I said, obviously that is kind of what we're looking at here. And once again, if there's anybody that you want me to look at for, like I said, even if you have any family anywhere and you want me to look at a specific area, like even if you don't know the town, just say like Eastern Texas or whatever, I could probably show you what we're looking for. And like I said, we're going to keep on, like I said, obviously we're going to definitely keep on watching out for this, and we'll continue monitoring this because, like I said, we got quite the events getting ready to kick off here across the way. So we'll definitely watch out for it. Let's see. Awesome says, not saying this is possible. Could both days get upgraded to 30%? Possibly, but it depends on how the models go. We'll continue watching that. What advice would I give people wanting to go into weather forecasting? Don't give up. Seriously, it can be kind of scary sometimes. Like I said, if you start learning how to forecast, you start looking at models and you start learning how the models work and all that stuff, it can look a little taunting. But like I said, just don't give up. There's a couple things on weather that made me almost want to stop, which is these. These are what we call basically soundings. You got the hodograph, you got the skew T-plot. Basically, like, all this stuff, this really was a little taunting to me, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. But I learned it, and I got through, and it is awesome. It's actually very simple to understand now that I look at it. It looks scary, but really it's not too bad. But once you get it down, you'll understand it. But so just never give up. Never give up. And that's a good life motto. Obviously just never give up. If you get knocked down, you just get right back up and continue pushing forward. Like I said, obviously, that's a good example of what we've done with the channel. We've been non-stop. All of last year we had some serious coverage of the weather. we covered a lot of events here. From hurricanes to winter weather to severe weather outbreaks and stuff like that. We covered a lot last year, and we're not going anywhere until something happens to me where I am physically unable to do this. I'm not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere, and we're gonna always be here for you. Let's see. Do I think this could be the first moderate risk for 2023? I'd say it's possible. Like I said, it's a little far-fetched to say something like that, but I definitely would think, like I said, if the models show right now what actually plays out, if not worse, oh yeah, no, that's definite. That's definite at least enhanced material. Possibly a lot worse than that last event we just had, which is definitely crazy. Is the upcoming February 16th storm looking worse than Wednesday's storm? Well, that's the thing, is that basically for the 16th, basically it's the same system kicking off for the 15th into the 16th here. Like I said, we take a look here over at the models again, and like I said, you can actually see here that basically for the 15th, which I'll show you right there, there's the 16th. So we change our way from the 14th to 15th and the 16th there. You can see that little line moving through. That's the big storm. That's the big event here, and which we definitely got to definitely got to watch out here for. We'll keep an eye on it. It's a lot of talking, my friends. Like I said, we've been live here for a little over an hour. But obviously, like I said, guys, we're just here to make sure y'all are, staying up to date here. And once again, like I said, obviously, if there is, when these events approach here, like I said, whenever these events here do get here and everything like that, like I said, obviously, we'll be here to cover it. Like I said, we'll be here doing some live coverage, talking about the live weather and everything going on here. Like I said, this is just the forecasting side of our channel. Like I said, we don't do just forecasting. We do straight up coverage too. So, like I said, if there's a crazy event like this one that's popping up, I guarantee we'll be live during this thing. Guarantee it. Unless something happens to me, which I hope not, we'll be live during this thing. Let's see here. But anyways, that's kind of what we are looking at. Whenever it comes to things. So we'll keep an eye on it. And once again, if you have any more questions, my friends, feel free to let me know. And we'll be here for you. We'll make sure that you guys are staying up to date and everything like that. And like I said, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated, my friends. Once again, thank you all so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock. And once again, like I said, we'll keep you all up to date. We'll make sure that you guys are staying safe out there and all of that stuff. And everything along that. But once again, everybody, well, I think that is, we're coming close to an end of a live stream tonight. Like I said, I've been talking pretty quickly, and my jaw's starting to hurt from talking so much here. So, but once again, if there's any last requests here that you guys might have, throw it down in the comments. If there's an area I'm gonna look at, throw down a zip code or a location, and I'll look it up there and stuff like that. Check the 21st on the GFS. That's too far out. Like I said, this event's very far out, but the only reason we're talking about it this well is because it's in a heavy agreement. You said for the 21st. Like I said, that's just obviously Yeah, no, that's just way too far out. Like I said, that's 276 hours out. That's like literally 12 days away. We hardly know what's happening 5 days in advance most times. So no, I'm not going to go off of that right now. Like I said, we have a similar event to that, the one happening here for the 16th, which that's in about 6 days, which is still a little far out from what I usually like to forecast with. But like I said, there's just been so much there's just been so much agreement between multiple models over the last several days that has gotten me to the conclusion where we are very confident enough that this is going to be happening here. Proxy says, do I anything for New Orleans? I have relatives there. Thanks. No problem. So yeah, Proxy for areas here towards New Orleans. Obviously, they're in Louisiana. So yeah, Louisiana's got to be watching out for this here. If we take a look at the overall storm prediction center here, I don't think that there's any risk here for areas towards there now. However, that cold front will be impacting those regions there between the Wednesday and Thursday. And if we take a look here over at the models, like I said, the GFS here really quickly, you're going to notice how we get this big event moves through. And obviously there for like the 16th, obviously for Wednesday to Thursday, probably around the late 16th is what it looks like. Possibility. There possibly could be... like I said, there possibly could be a bit of, basically a bit of thunderstorm activity. Maybe some severe weather possibly there, Proxy. So it's worth watching out for. Absolutely. Let's see. Javier says Odessa, Texas. Okay, we'll take a look at Odessa, Texas. Like I said, obviously, little bits of Texas is expected to get impacted. Now, Odessa, that's right. It's on the far western side. Now, I think you might be far enough west to be kind of mostly good out of these systems here. So I think as of now, you look pretty dry here for the most part. We have a few low pressure systems that fire off here, but kind of skip over you from what it looks like. But yeah, I think you're going to be all right. I really, like I said, obviously, I really think that you're going to be okay. Can you help me shift that snowstorm south? Obviously, that would be very, very bad if you shift it south. Unless, probably the warm air will take it over and probably just turn it into rain. But yeah. Anyways, let's see. Good night, everyone. Stay safe, says Mr. Onsall. See you later. Thank you so much for joining us. And anyways, like I said, once again, everybody, if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. Once again, big shout out goes to Proxy as well as Javier for the donations today. You guys seriously, absolutely rock. You guys definitely, seriously have made my night tonight. Thank you all so much for your kind donations. You guys absolutely rock. Definitely means a lot to me. And it really does help out our channel. So thank you guys. Seriously, double thumbs up goes both to Proxy. Everyone, please give Proxy a big thank you. As well as Javier, a big thank you. Guys, they seriously allow us to keep on going with those donations they gave us today. Greatly appreciated. So, guys, thank you so much. Proxy says, thanks, Andrew. I'll work on warning them to stay up to date with the local weather. You rock. Yeah, no problem, Proxy. Like I said, just we'll keep on talking about it. So, obviously, future streams, Proxy, if you join us, like I said, we'll be talking more about that, and I'll be able to give you more up-to-date info the more closer we do get to this event here. Which, like I said, obviously, this is going to be happening for, for next week and stuff like that. So, yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on it. We're definitely gonna keep an eye on it. But absolutely no problem. Like I said, I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys. I love helping y'all with the weather and making sure you guys are staying safe. Obviously, that's the main thing, is to make sure you guys are staying safe out of this. Because, like I said, Mother Nature this week is looking pretty aggressive. It is. It is not looking too good. But all right. Well, once again, everybody, thank you all so much for joining us. Let's see. Crystal says going to bed, y'all. We'll see you later, Crystal. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, if there's any final requests that people might have, feel free to let me know right now. And if not, then I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Once again, if there's any area you want me to look at, like I said, obviously, if there's any specific area you want me to look at, throw me down a zip code if you don't know the zip code. If you know the town name, tell me that. And if you don't even know the town name, tell me the side of the state it's on, at very least. Let's see here. Am I streaming tomorrow? Yes. We have a slight risk tomorrow I'm going to be going live for whenever it comes to severe weather. Hope to see you guys in tomorrow's live coverage here. Like I said, we take a look at the Storm Prediction Center here for tomorrow. Yeah, they pulled out a slight card here tomorrow for Florida. So we're definitely going to be live here essentially for areas, tomorrow across areas of like northern Florida and all that stuff here. Let's see, Mr. Unstall with a $20 super chat. Holy cow. Guys, thank you, seriously. Mr. Install, dude, thank you so much for that. Holy cow. Everybody, please give Mr. Install now a big thanks. Like, oh my gosh. Seriously, that means so much. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. Huge shout out. Proxy, Javier, Mr. Install, guys, thank you. Seriously, that's super nice of you. Super nice. But yeah, I am going to be going live tomorrow for the coverage. Like I said, we do have a 5% tornado risk here, which we do got to be, we obviously got to be watching out for. Possibility of some gusty winds as well, and really no hail. So hail's not a concern. Just a possibility for some tornadoes and for some damaging winds possible. But once again, Mr. Install, seriously, thank you so much. Mr. Install, Javier, Proxy for the donations today. You guys absolutely rock. Seriously, thank you all so much. It definitely means a lot to us. And but once again, like I said, any final questions you guys might have, feel free to let me know. We'll be here for y'all. Like I said, we'll be here to make sure you guys are up to date and all that fun stuff. And like I said, with that being said, I think we're getting ready to head off soon. If there's a time where I'm offline, and you might have an urgent question for the weather or something like that, if there's something that's really worrying you, you can join our Discord server down below too. Like I said, obviously, sometimes we're active on it. I'm not gonna lie, that channel can be sometimes inactive. But if you write something, and I'll always get to it. I will always get to your question if you have one. Just ping me on Discord or something like that if you have a question regarding the weather. Like I said, if it's something you're a little worried about, a little concerned about, feel free to. Like I said, obviously I'm here for you, and I want to see you guys safe. That's the big thing. I mean, even if I have to drop everything I'm doing, which, like I said, I really don't mind. I really do not mind. And if there's anything that I can do, like I said, let me know, and we'll make sure that you guys are staying safe. But anyways, that's that. Let's see. Fernando says hi. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Hope you are doing good. But all right, my friends. Well, once again, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Once again, a huge shout out goes to Mr. Install as well as Javier and Proxy. Guys, seriously, thank you all so much. You guys absolutely rock. Big, huge shout outs goes to you guys. Seriously, thank you guys so much. All right, my friends. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up here tonight. Like I said, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button because, like I said, tomorrow we got ourselves some live coverage across Florida. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. Like I said, tornadoes looks quite possible out of the cold front. Also, tomorrow we have that snow moving through, so we're just going to have a whole entire severe weather and snow type of event here tomorrow. So between snow and severe weather, we're going to have a busy day tomorrow. We're going to be live here probably for a while, so we'll make sure to keep you guys informed. All right, let's see how Stormy doing. Doing pretty good. But once again, like I said, if there's anything we can do, let us know. But all right, my friends, once again, thank you all so much for joining us. That's going to wrap it up here for right now. Like I said, y'all, please take care out there. And if there's anything else, we're going to be here for you. And we'll keep y'all updated. So once again, tomorrow we'll be seeing you guys probably around 3 o'clock or so. I'm kind of thinking maybe around 3 o'clock or so. And then after that, then obviously, that's kind of what we're doing there. So all right, my friends, once again, thank you so much for joining us. And we will catch you guys here in the next one. Peace out, my friends. Love y'all. Stay safe out there. Stream's going to head off here in about 3 minutes. So if you guys want to say goodbye to your friends and family who might just be hanging around in chat, make sure you do so right now. And we're going to start the timer right now. All right, my friends. Once again, thank you all so much. Once again, huge big thanks goes to Mr. Install, Javier, and Proxy once again for the donations. Seriously, guys, thank you all so much. And until next time, my friends, we'll catch you guys later on. See you, my friends. Love y'all. Stay safe out there. Catch you tomorrow.
North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts to around 30 miles per hour. Chance of rain 100%. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of rain in the morning, then mostly sunny in the afternoon. Highs in the lower 50s. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts to around 30 miles per hour. Chance of rain 20%. Sunday night, cold. Mostly clear. Lows in the lower 30s. Northwest winds around 10 miles per hour in the evening becoming light and variable. Monday, mostly sunny. Highs around 60. Monday night, partly cloudy in the evening, then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows in the upper 30s. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A chance of showers in the afternoon. Highs around 60. Chance of rain 30%. Tuesday night, not as cool. Cloudy. Showers likely, mainly in the evening. Near steady temperature in the lower 50s. Chance of rain 70%. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers. Highs in the mid-60s. Chance of rain 40%. Wednesday night, showers likely. A slight chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Near steady temperature in the upper 50s. Chance of rain 70%. Thursday, showers in the morning, then showers likely and a slight chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 60s. Chance of rain 80%. Thursday night, much cooler. Mostly cloudy. A chance of showers in the evening. Lows in the lower 30s. Chance of rain 40%. Friday, much cooler. Mostly cloudy in the morning, then becoming partly cloudy. Highs in the mid-40s. The time is 9:04 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 8 p.m. At Albertville Regional Airport, skies were cloudy. The temperature was 50 degrees. The dew point was 34, making the relative humidity 53%. Winds were northeast at 8 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.23 inches and falling. At Cullman Regional Airport, skies were fair. The temperature was 50 degrees. The dew point was 37, making the relative